Hello everyone, this is your host Nourish Khan and we are back with another video on the Strikers Zen, and this one is gonna be one of those mega episodes, one of those videos, one of those podcasts that you're gonna absolutely love, because the person that we have on the other hand for this podcast is none other than my favorite, your favorite, everyone's favorite, the ultimate content creator, the ultimate, I'd say, wizard of cricket in the UK cricket system. We have with us Wizard the wicketkeeper, and you might know him. Uh, well, not might. You would definitely know him from all of his candid takes, comical takes on all the on all the recent happenings in cricket, and really makes great getting updated with cricket a whole lot of fun. So we have Wizard the wicketkeeper with us. How are you, Wizard?
I'm good, thanks. Yeah, it's nice to finally catch up with you. I know we've been talking for quite a while, haven't we? And we said we'd sort of do a
Yeah.
video, and it's just been a matter of finding times. I mean, we didn't even know sort of which times, like how far ahead did we? Like, I think you thought we were 4 hours and we're actually, I don't even know. We thought we were 5 hours and we're actually four. But it's so good to catch up with you. And it's nice.
Absolutely. Yeah,
It's
I
nice
mean
to
that.
sort of talk to the Pakistan fans as well, because I don't think I've actually done a video where I've talked to the Pakistan fans before.
Well, you've been religiously following PSL as well, and of course, it's very nice to follow, to finally catch up with you as well. Finally, after decades, I'd say, it really looked like that, because of course we had been planning this for so long, and because of the time zone thingy, of course, it had really really became a bone in the epiglottis. I'd say that's the proverb I'd use for it. Anyways, so we're gonna go deep. Dive deep into it. So you've been religiously covering PSL, IPL, and many, even the county championship as well. So I mean, with the recent happenings in Pakistan Super League, the Lahore leg just ended, and from today onwards, the Karachi leg is about to begin with Hyderabad Kingsmen taking on Peshawar Zulmi. First of all, I'm gonna ask you, who is your what's your favorite team in this PSL so far?
Oh, that is a tough question. That I mean, obviously, everyone knows I love Usman Tariq, don't I? So my actual favourite team, and if I don't pronounce it right, don't shout at me because I don't pronounce anything right. Is it Quetta Gladiators?
Absolutely, you were spot
Is that
on, man.
is that how I
Yeah.
say it? There we go. So I love Quetta Gladiators, and obviously they're not doing bad, but they're not doing great either. But I don't mind that. They're fun to watch. But Usman hasn't been taking as much wickets, has he?
Yeah. I could see why you were supporting Kotak Gladiators. It's because of that legend Usman Tariq, and I can see why. I can already sense what your favorite franchise in the upcoming the 100 is gonna be as well, because of Usman Tariq again. So yeah. I mean, he's not been up to the mark so far. I mean, he's not given the performances that we've expected of Usman Tariq so far. But with the PSL being shifted to Karachi, like so Wizard. The thing is that in Lahore it was an entirely different scenario, and of course, considering it's April, or summers of course are early summers, it's considered early summers here, and we don't usually expect rain to happen this early in Pakistan, but this year around things have been entirely different. So there has been a lot of rain, and those we have had only one washed out game so far in the Pakistan Super League, but there were some games that were at the hem of being affected. So considering all that, what are your expectations of the Karachi leg of the Pakistan Super League season 11?
So this is because obviously, yeah, they've played. Is it Lahore they were playing in before?
Yeah,
Yeah, now
the
they're
Zaki
playing.
Stadium Lahore.
So they're only playing in two destinations, aren't they? For
Absolutely, yeah. So
yeah,
before earlier the Pakistan Super League was played in more than was about to be played in more than two destinations. It was Rawalpindi Stadium was also being given a match. Then Peshawar was also given a match. Then there was Multan Stadium as well. But then of course, with the developing, and of course the developing conflict in the Middle East, they decided to tone it down to two venues. Those are Lahore and Karachi. So the Lahore leg has ended, and now that the entire tournament has been shifted to Karachi, and of course that would take off right from today, where Hyderabad Kingsmen would take on Peshawar Zulmi.
yeah. I think it's been really good. It's a shame, obviously, that no fans are there at the minute. But I know once it's get through the sort of group stages, the fans are invited back, aren't they? And I'm really interested to see how the Pakistan fans will be, because just knowing the Pakistan fans online, and they're just brilliant. They're such good fans, and they're quite fair fans as well. They've always been very nice to my content. So I'm really interested to see how the fans will react when they actually get in and watch the PSL.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, of course, no one would have wanted Pakistan Super League to be played behind closed doors. But sometimes, Wizard, and I would want to take your opinion on this as well. What do you think? I mean, if you were in that position, would you want to go ahead with the tournament without fans or with fans, considering the situation, the developing situation that there is? And of course, when you have fans that are coming in, there's a whole lot of security threats that follow. So in that situation, would you want to have fans, or would you want to, go ahead without fans?
So, I mean, it's tough, isn't it? It's more of a political situation, but I think it's good that they've got the tournament on. I think they have to get the tournament on, don't they? Even if the fans aren't there. I think it would be a shame if they had to put a stop to the whole event and not play it at all. So I think they've done the right thing in terms of getting it
Absolutely.
on and allowing the fans to come at a later date. It'll just make it ever that more so special, won't it, when the fans do get to come down and watch the later stages of the tournament.
And it only gets better. I can tell you that. I can vouch for it because I've been religiously following the Pakistan Super League for us since its inception, and it only gets better in the second phase. And the best thing about PSL Wizard is that, I mean, this is something that is not talked about much. Is that PSL, often until the last group stage, you never know who the final four are gonna be. Like, for the past few seasons, that has been the case, and that is precisely what made PSL interesting.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you don't know the four teams, even including like the top one or two, who they're going to be to go into that final stage, that just makes the tournament brilliant. So you've got all 8 teams pretty much competing for that sort of final four spots, haven't you?
Absolutely. And before I go ahead to the next point, I just wanted to add a quick note here. So you were just talking about how, the PSL couldn't be played ahead. And I 100% agree with you. And I want to seize this opportunity to let our viewers know as well that, many of the viewers have been arguing that PSL should have been postponed, but realistically that can't really happen because there's no window ahead to really hold PSL in that sort, because England, the county season in England has already started, and then you have the Vitality T20 Blast upcoming, then you have the Women's World Cup in England, then after that you have the everyone's anticipated, highly anticipated D100, and then a couple of months pertaining Test cricket and all. So that is going to be limited to England. And of course, if I talk about the rest of the world, there is definitely no window. Then we have Pakistan versus Zimbabwe series ahead. So there was definitely no window ahead to postpone PSL. So it was either PSL with crowd or without crowd. And of course, the latter seemed to be a good option. So, Wizard, of course, one video that particularly intrigued me of yours was that Fakhar Zaman's, entire controversy and all. So I would want to really have your opinion on that. I mean, you have, very boldly presented your opinion as well on this. But, do you think what happened to Fakhar Zaman was fair?
No, no, not at all. I don't think he's gone to tamper with the ball no more than anyone else would do if they were shining the ball. I mean, it creates a very dangerous environment for players if that's sort of the standard where that's deemed as cheating or tampering with the ball. It's not a situation like where Australia physically took out sandpaper onto the field to tamper with the ball. I mean, from sort of a scientific point of view, how hard can you press on a ball to actually change the shape of it? I don't think there's the human in the world that is strong enough to change the shape of the ball by doing that.
Okay,
So
so
I think it's wrong that he's been persecuted for that.
yeah, I think I would want to slightly disagree here because see, the thing is that there were 14 cameras already in the ground, and it was and this wasn't the first instance that Fakhar Zaman had done it. I mean, in the IL T20 there was an instance as well, and then going forward in the national T20 there was an instance as well, but it was not reported, probably because it was not definitely ball tampering. But I'm pretty positive, knowing Pakistan cricket, and being someone who's witnessed this entire thing first time, I think the umpires were pretty confident. And then of course an entire committee was sitting. Of course, over a span of 48 hours, the entire investigation took place. After that, Fakhar Zaman also appealed to the Pakistan Cricket Board, and Pakistan Cricket Board reviewed it and then, of course, gave their decision. So I think that it had more to do with the technical aspect of it. And of course, you just mentioned about the entire sandpaper controversy. Now, Steve Smith had really had to face the bad side of it, but I think it was indirectly reported by AB de Villiers, who kind of really who who was kind of really suspicious on the ball having too much of a swing. So I think it was reported, and then Steve Smith was taken. It was the action was taken on it, and then Steve Smith, of course, had to take the bad part of it, and of course was penalized on it. But I think with Fakhar Zaman, it was a direct thing, don't you think?
It's hard for me. It's hard because obviously I didn't watch the whole game, and I know you mentioned before that there was 14 cameras, and someone did say that to me actually, that cameras had picked up different things throughout the game, not just from Zaman, but from other players as well. And it's like I said on my podcast, the actual rule does state that you cannot try and change the size or the shape of the ball, and that I think with that motion which he's done, that is what he's tried. He's tried to watch the whole game, and I know you mentioned before that there was 14 cameras, and someone did say that to me actually, that cameras had picked up different things throughout the game, not just from Zaman, but from other players as well. And it's like I said on my podcast, the actual rule does state that you cannot try and change the size or the shape of the ball, and that I think with that motion which he's done, that is what he's tried to do. I think my question is, how much actual impact can he have on the ball by doing that sort of action of pushing down on it? But like you say, the Pakistan board, they reviewed it and he's appealed it, and it's down to them really to
Yeah,
make that decision.
that's actually a very nice stance, and of course, now Wizard, I'm gonna come to one of your favorite parts of this podcast, which is Naseem Shah. I know you have a particular intrigue about him, but what do you have to say about Naseem Shah? Because he's been in the headlines for so long, and of course he's had a pretty, I'd say, uh, a lot of injury scares, and of course he's been at the hem of many injuries as well. So what do you have to say on Naseem Shah?
So yeah, I mean, I've seen the news that obviously that he's going to be ruled out with an injury. And I've seen like quite a lot of fans seem to be quite sort of upset or worried about that. But in terms of his stats and figures, I mean, especially from the PSL last year, I think he only took 9 wickets. He was averaging, I think it was 40 with the ball. I might be wrong there. But in terms of his stats and figures, I don't think they're missing sort of too much with Naseem Shah. And I did ask you the question is why are fans such, in awe of him, really? Because I think there's better bowlers out there than him, really.
Absolutely. And since you've been an avid, I'd say very passionate cricket fan, England cricket fan as well, and you've seen it through your content as well. English cricket has been uh, one of the prime examples of the kind of cricket that has evolved very fast over a span of really less time. I mean, all saw how last year England versus South Africa took place at Old Trafford, and a score of 305 was put up on board by the English team against the South African side, and that really instilled in the more in cricket an era of modern day cricket. So I mean, this is kind of a general question. How well do you see the rest of the teams, other than England, of course, adapting to the modern day cricket?
It's a great question, isn't it? And I think we've talked about that on our pod. In terms of management structures across different nationalities, do you take the sort of approach where you'll take on a coach which takes on all sort of formats, sort of like England have done with Baz McCullum? So obviously Baz he's in charge of the Test match, of the one days and the T20, and we try and have that sort of attacking style of play, don't we? Across all of the formats to try and combat that sort of modern day cricket. But yeah, I think it's that question: do you take that approach across all formats, especially even in Test match where you've got quite an attacking side, so you can sort of adapt that into the different styles of the game? Is that the way forward? I don't know, really. It's a great question, but it's still something that England fans are still asking ourselves as well, because I think it's very hard to be good across all three formats. Unfortunately, I think India are probably the best at the moment. But yeah, great question. I don't think I've got the answer to that, in all fairness, and I think that's just a brilliant question. I don't know how to answer it.
No, but so on that note, I have another question for you, and it kind of can come off as a controversial opinion, but this is just something that I've observed. So England has always has been playing cricket over the recent years, especially under the pretext of baseball, because of Brendan McCullum being incorporated in the coaching thing and all. So, do you think that baseball has done more damage to English cricket than good?
Great question again. It depends when you're asking me. It depends after what result, really. If you'd asked me 8 or 9 months ago, I would have said it's
Okay,
going to.
I'll give you some context. We're looking at the past at English side's performance for the past 2 to 3 years. It can be in the
I,
World Cups, it can be in the mega tournaments, it can be in bilaterals, in Ashes. The floor is open.
So I like to sum this up as easily as possible. Like, sport is a performance-based game, and that's how it's measured. And England, with their style of play, we haven't got the results. I think we've done okay, but I wouldn't say it's been detrimental to English cricket, but I also wouldn't say it's been a huge positive or this newfound era of cricket where everyone wants to play in that sort of style. I think there can be a hybrid approach moving forward. So you can use the sort of Baz McCullum style of play, but it needs to be incorporated with your sort of old-fashioned style of cricket. You need to know when to be disciplined. You need to know when to play the correct shots. And I think that would be the best way forward for England at this moment. And whether that's having a look at a change in management, even if it's across maybe one of the formats, I think that'll probably be the best way forward for England, because I quite like Baz McCullum in the T20 and one day stuff. I think that works quite well. But I think in sort of terms of test match cricket, I think you're asking too much of teams to play in that fashion and try and win games against great sides like Australia, especially away in Australia. It's too hard to sort of try and play that style of cricket.
Well, right back at you, mate. And since when did you develop mind reading abilities, Wizard? Because I was thinking exactly this, and I had the exact opinion, to be honest. And yeah, it makes sense because for a side as good as England's, I mean, it's only heartbreaking to see their decline over the past few years. And I mean, there has to be something wrong with it. And speaking of which, while we're on the topic, and of course, since we're moving towards the final part of the video, I would like to relate it to the current county championship that's going in. So a lot that's there's been a lot that's happening in the first phase of the county championship. Of course, the second phase is scheduled to begin from Friday. But Jimmy Anderson at 43.54, man, who is this guy?
I know, it's crazy. And that's my team, Lancashire, as well. So that's where I'm from. So I'm a big Jimmy Anderson fan. And it's great to see that he's still going strong at his age.
Yeah.
And it asks the question, could he get back in the England side this summer? Who knows? I've seen weirder things happen. Why not? He's brilliant in our conditions, isn't he, in England? And I think every sort of England fan would love to see him back in an England shirt again. But yeah, he took 8 wickets in the first county championship game.
And I have a rather, I'd say, not that common of take on this. Our young talent, young sensation that's coming in, young bowlers, young cricketers that those are coming in, they really need to take notes from Jimmy Anderson as to how well to adapt, how well you could adapt to the changing ecosystem of cricket. I mean, cricket is moving towards the modern day cricket, and of course, Jimmy Anderson being 43, the way he has adapted so well to it, I mean, that's been absolutely tremendous. And I think that was one of my key takeaways from this first phase of the county championship.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, he's played through 2 decades of cricket, hasn't he? So he's seen it all and seen the changes over the years, and he can keep adapting and keep going and obviously keep his body strong as well at the same time. And the young lads, yeah, they definitely should look at Jimmy Anderson and the way he's sort of conducted himself over the past 20 years, really, isn't it? But yeah, some good results in that first county championship game. Jamie Smith batted at 3 and scored 100, which is quite interesting.
Matt Critchley has been absolutely tremendous. The way he's batted, that's been absolutely amazing with for Matt Critchley. And of course, one more thing that I'd like to mention. Of course, this is certainly not talked about much, but it's the back of it's the return of Duke's Bowl, man. It's I mean this is I'd say a topic that's not talked about much, but I think that has a lot to do with innovation that's coming into England cricket, especially this county season. Because of course, due to the developing conditions in the Middle East, deteriorating conditions in the Middle East, the Kookaburra ball couldn't really make its way, so they had to really go with the Duke's ball. So, what do you have to say on that?
Oh, I absolutely love it. It's the right decision. Yeah, I mean, I think that last year there was some, or over the last year or so, there was some silly scores, and I mean, it doesn't make the game interesting when teams are going out and scoring 400, 500 runs. You want to see wickets being taken, you want to see tight games, and I think if it's hard to take wickets, you're not going to see that sort of excitement or them sort of close games where it sort of boils down to sort of the last few hours of sessions and stuff. So yeah, I'm a massive fan that the Duke's balls come back.
Yeah, absolutely. And what expectations do you have for from the second grade of the county championship 2026?
Of the second week coming up.
Yeah, that's beginning from
It's,
Friday.
yeah, so it's interesting, isn't it? Because England fans are all sort of looking around and seeing sort of who's doing well. Obviously, Jamie Smith did well last week. Jimmy Anderson's done well. Zach
Mm.
Crawley again failed to score any sort of big sort of score. I know Ben Ducker, he's gone back to Notts, hasn't he? I think he's going to be playing there as well.
Yeah.
Um, Hamid, I don't think he scored many runs last week. So it's all these sort of current England players and fringe England players. I think the English fans are sort of looking at and wanting to see who's doing well, because there's been many question marks over how England sort of selects their sides over the last couple of years, whether it's people who are actually performing in county cricket or whether they're going for sort of the names of the characters that they like, especially with Zach Crawley, who hasn't sort of performed well or his stats are showing that he's been playing well. So I think England fans want to see whoever's doing well in the county championship progressing and playing in the England team.
And I mean, there's a lot of cricket coming up for you guys as well. So it's an action-packed season of cricket coming ahead for you guys, coming up for you guys, of course. And then you have the Vitality T20 Blast. Of course, there are going to be counties there as well. Then upcoming Women's World Cup, and then of course the highly anticipated 100. And we're gonna see much more of your content there as well. And I personally enjoy your content. One, because it's very unique, not it's a very different from the mainstream content that we see a bit of analysis and all that as well. So Vijay, since we've reached the end of our podcast, is there any key takeaway message that you would want to give to our viewers before we wrap this all up?
I don't know. I think I've really enjoyed that. Some absolutely brilliant questions there. I'd probably like to say that Farhan is the GOAT at the moment. I think he's one of the best T20 players in the world. I absolutely love him. He's liked a couple of my posts on Instagram, so big shout out to Farhan. And yeah, I just love watching him play. So I'm just looking forward to speaking to all the Pakistan fans over the next sort of 6 months, and I really appreciate your time.
Absolutely. We appreciate your time as well. I know you have a very jam packed routine, but still, you took out some time for this podcast, for which I'm very grateful. And of course, all our viewers will be very grateful as well. So, thank you, Wizard, for all your time. And this is it from the podcast today, guys. We will be back with some more interesting content shortly. Till then, this is your host, Nourish Khan, signing off.